So, what you go to prison? How long was you in prison?
10 years.
10. So, what you go to prison? How long was you in prison?
10 years.
10 years.
For unarmed robbery when I was 17. In 4 hours, I could make $1,000 without getting, smashed, gang banged.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
This prison story is about inmate Peaches. Now, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to tell this story because I want to tell y'all what got Peaches sent to prison, and I also want to tell y'all Peaches' prison story of how I met Peaches in prison and the shenanigans that he was doing in there. So I tell y'all what, I'm going to leave it to the audience, okay? I'm going to leave it up to y'all. Y'all let me know in the comment section from here on out. Do y'all want me to give y'all the backstory as prison story number 1 of how the individual ended up in prison? Or do y'all want me to just give it to y'all in the whole video? I don't know if y'all going to watch the video all the way through. So, that's why I break these videos up for part 1 and part 2. So we just going to do a vote in the comment section. Just put a 1 in the comment section if you want me to just tell the whole story in one time and don't do a part 2, or put a 5 in the comment section to let me know if y'all want me to do a part 1 and a part 2. And I'll just have part 2 pinned at the top of the comment section of part 1. So y'all let me know. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to do a part 1, part 2. So y'all let me know in the comment section if y'all want me to break it up or just make it one whole video. All right. So this is the prelude to Peaches coming to prison. Now, Peaches back in maybe 08, maybe even 07, right? Peaches grew up on the east side of Detroit. Peaches was the only sibling in his family. Now, I'm not going to put his real name out because I don't want to put him on full blast, right? As y'all can tell, Peaches is out here, selling his body for money. He's surviving like he did in prison. But this wasn't always the case. Peaches grew up just like a lot of us in the hood, in poverty, parents on welfare, pops ain't there, mama doing the best she can, right? But Peaches ended up getting touched when Peaches was about 5-6 years old, right? So we're going to start there. So we're going to jump into because we haven't started the story yet, but we're about to start it right now. So I'm just going to take y'all to a time where me and Peaches actually had a conversation. So this is the way I can tell y'all about how he got sent to prison, right? And then I give y'all in part 2 Peaches shenanigans, right? So, but before we start this, okay, y'all put y'all zip code in the comment section so I can know where y'all rocking with me from, all right? And don't forget to hit that like button. So, one day I'm in a day room, right? And I see Peaches down there going through it. And normally I wouldn't, check and see what's going on. But but sometimes you can tell when somebody is in need of some type of human compassion or interaction, right? And I know, I done told y'all that you can't have, unless you doing business with a homosexual, you shouldn't be talking to a homosexual, right? Because it could get misconstrued by other inmates that, y'all might got something going on. And that right there can just lead into a whole bunch of drama and a whole bunch of mess, right? So I see inmate Peaches down there, and he was like crying, right? And the first thing I'm thinking in my head, oh, there you go, being the drama queen. There you go. You know what I'm talking about? He probably got into it with his man or whatever. So, but this cry was different, right? It was a cry of hurt, a cry of pain, a cry of regret, right? So I eased down the tear and I kind of like stood to his right. And I was like, hey, you all right? And he just looked up at me and was like, I'm not all right. I said, what's up? He was like, man, I don't want to be here no more. I just don't want to be here no more. I said, man, shoot, don't none of us want to be here, man. He said, yeah, I know, but I really don't want to be here no more because my family, they abandoned me, man. And I'm here because of them. And now I never knew Peaches' backstory. You know what I'm talking about? I never knew why Peaches was there. So my curiosity was piqued at this point. So I sat next to him. Well, not like right next to him, but across from him. I was like, you want to talk about it? He was like, yeah, let's talk. Why not? So I said, what happened? He said when he was 5 years old, 4 turning 5, he said that his uncle moved in with them, right? And he said that he was so young, he didn't understand what was going on. But long story short, his uncle used to touch him, right? And he said at 4 or 5 years old, he didn't know what was, this. He didn't know, you know what I'm talking about? He didn't know that this was not supposed to be happening or whatever. But he said this went on till he was 8 years old. So he said around that time, that's when the uncle moved out the house or whatever. And he said he didn't know about sexuality or anything like that. But he started finding other boys attractive. And he found himself playing with Barbie dolls. He found himself um wanting to dress up in his mama clothes, getting his nail. He said there was some time where his mama would catch him putting on her makeup and earrings, her clip-on earrings or whatever, and she had beat the living dog crap out of him. You know what I'm talking about? And she would tell him like, "No, you can't do that," but she'd be beating him or whatever. So he said, this would go on till he was about 12 years old, and he said he just came out straight up flamboyant. That's just straight up, and he ain't care. It was what it was, right? So he said that his mama threw him out the house. So he said for the next 6 years, he was in a juvenile out of juvenile facilities, group homes, right? Because his mama just didn't want him at the house. She felt like he was damaged goods or whatever. So he like, well, my mama don't love me. I ain't really got no family. I'm out here in the streets. So he said that one day he was walking around and a guy pulled up on him. Now he said he was 16 at this time. Some dude pulled up on him and said, "Do you want to ride?" And he said, "I guess so." So he said he got in the car with him. And he said they were just driving and they was talking. And he said they pulled into an alley and the dude basically took advantage of him. Now, he said that it was forced. And he said that he didn't want it. But the dude ended up taking advantage of him or whatever. And after he was done, he gave him $20 and told him to get out the car. Right? So he said that was the first time that he ever did something with a man outside of his uncle, but was paid for it. So he said when he was looking at the money, he felt disgusted, but he said, wait a minute. Something clicked. Something in his head clicked that he can make money by doing this act. And he said prior to this, he had no type of, no type of thoughts of doing this type of thing, right? So he like, I want to get off the streets. I want a life. I want to live. I don't want to be going to these group homes. I think I can do this and get money and get me a big house, get me a nice car so I can take care of myself, right? So he said that's what he started doing. He started getting close to, the ladies of the night, going to these prostitutes and, asking them to put them on game or whatever. And he said he started making money, a lot of money, right? He said that a lot of cats will be pulling up knowing that he is what he is and pick him up, and that's what they do. So he said there was a lot of times where there was dudes that didn't want to pay him, but he had to get physical and aggressive with them. But I want to get past that. That's just setting the history up to let y'all know what he told me of, what led him to what about to get him sent to prison, right? So he said that one day his auntie called him out of the blue, right? His mother's sister, and asked him like, "Hey, how you doing? Like, you been good in life?" So he said he just sitting there like, I never talked to this woman a day in my life. Why she just now want to get in contact with me? So long story short, he finds out that the auntie want him to babysit the cousin, his little cousin, which is a female, which is 11 years old, right? So the thing about it is the auntie is basically, she got a new job and she working second and third shift. So she need him there to babysit, right? So he like, I guess so. I mean, we're family. Okay, cool, whatever. So the auntie tell him the schedule it'll be Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning, right? And she'll pay him $100 a day. So he like, all right, cool, bet. It's a bet. So he said, in this time, everything was going good. Everything was going smooth. He said that his 11-year-old cousin, the girl, he said they hit it off. They was watching Disney movies together. They was eating popcorn, having snacks, braiding each other hair, putting on makeup and all that. He said he was just being a big cousin and everything was fine. No funny business, right? He said on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, that's when he'll leave, right? And that's when he'll go out there in the Detroit streets and turn his tricks or whatever. So he'll be getting $500. He basically made $5, $10, $50, $2,000 a month off of babysitting, and the money that he was making tricking also out there in the streets, right? So he was making a good income, maybe about 4 or 5 bands, right, a month. So this will go on for 3 months, according to Inmate Peaches. Inmate Peaches would tell Dante that life was good for about 3 months. No hiccups. The tricks, the jobs was paying him. He had steady income coming from his auntie, watching his cousin. He said everything was good until it wasn't. So one day, his mama called him and say, "What have you done to your little cousin?" And he like, "What? What you mean what I do to my little cousin? I ain't do nothing." "Well, she missed her period and you the only one that been over there and she's pregnant." "What? Man, man, I'm gay. I don't, man, what you mean? I didn't touch her. What you mean she pregnant? Well, you the only one that been over there, and they talking about calling the police and all this and that. He was like, well, shoot, hey, I didn't do nothing. I don't, man, right? So auntie called him. Why did you do this to my baby? Why did you do this? She only 11 years old. I trusted you and all this and that. He like, listen, auntie, I did not do this. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't do anything. I'm sorry. But I can't say I'm sorry for something I didn't do. So she like, well, you the only one been here. And he's like, well, did she say that? Did she tell you that I the one that did it? And then she was like, no, she didn't say you did it, but you the only person been around her. And he was like, man, no, it got to be somebody else. It got to be something else, man, because it ain't me. I ain't got nothing to do with this. So she like, well, I'm calling the police. I gotta protect my baby. I gotta make sure that she's straight. I gotta make sure she good. But I'm making this report, and that's just what it's gonna be. So he like, all right, well, just let me know because I didn't do anything, right? So he said he was at the motel and he just sitting on the bed and he like, I don't know what happened. I know I didn't do it, and I don't know why they blaming me. I don't even like women, but I need to figure this out. So he said that he called his auntie again, like, hey, auntie, listen, I didn't do this. I promise to God I didn't do it, but I want to find out just like y'all want to know what happened. I want to know, right? So he said, can I talk to her? I mean, since she's not telling y'all who did it, can I talk to her and see? Because we got a bond or whatever. So the auntie first was reluctant to do it because she thinking that he did it, but she said, okay, fine, whatever. So auntie sets up a camera right in the living room, unbeknownst to inmate Peaches, right? So auntie leaves the 11-year-old girl in the living room, and inmate Peaches come in, and auntie leave out, right? Now the camera is rolling, y'all. And he like, baby girl, what happened? Who did this to you? Tell me so I can mess them up. The 11-year-old cousin like, I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you. So inmate Peach is like, no, tell me, because this is serious. You are a little girl. You and you're pregnant. You about to have a baby. We need to know who did this to you, right? So she was like, I can't tell you. I'm afraid. I don't want to tell you, man. I'm just afraid. I don't want to get nobody in trouble. So he was like, listen, you gonna have to tell us something. Tell something because they think it's me. And she like, no, I know it's you. But he like, yeah, I know, but they think that it's me, and because I've been around you, so you really have to clear my name and let people know that I didn't do this, whatever. So she was like, I already told them that you ain't do it. I don't know why they keep saying you. So inmate Peter was like, listen, you have to say something. You have to tell them who did it, or I could be getting in trouble. So she was like, okay, I'll think about it. So he got up and he left, right? Auntie tell her to go to her room, and she replayed the video. And she's looking at it like, okay, I don't think he did it. He didn't do it. He obviously didn't do it. So she sends her off. Auntie sends her off to another relative down south. I think he said in Tennessee or Arkansas, one of them, right? So he said that something didn't sit right. He said he wanted to find out who did this because this is his cousin and he done had some type of affection with her. You know, he done developed a real close bond with her. And he felt like his little cousin been violated, so he wanted to know who did it, right? So he said he hit the streets in the neighborhood. And, you know, he's known around the neighborhood because of who he is or whatever. About 10 days ago by, and rumors start circulating that the person that got her pregnant was a 17-year-old dude named Andrew Smith, right? So word was on Saturday and Sunday, he would come over there, right? Auntie would leave her at the house. I don't know where Auntie was going on these days when she had the day off, but the 11-year-old was there by herself. And Andrew Smith, I don't know when he met her and whatever plans they developed, but they end up somehow he would come over there on Saturday and Sunday, sneaking over there, and through that 3-month time or whatever, they end up messing around and kept messing around. And well, she ended up pregnant, right? So he finds out, right? Inmate Peaches finds out what happened. And he want to get his get back. He want to get revenge. Now, I don't know, was it because the $2,000 now is gone from his income? I don't know. It's because he really, really want to get revenge for his 11-year-old cousin. I don't know what the case is. But he approached him. Hey, you F my little cousin? Andrew like, what? He like, you F my little cousin? You got my cousin pregnant? He was like, man, watch out with your, he said a very derogatory word towards the LGBTQ community, right? And then he mushed him, right? Inmate Peaches said everything went dark. He seen red. And he said that all he know is he was on top of him. Pause. I'm not talking about, in a sexual manner, but he was on top of him. Boom, boom. Putting hands and feet all over this dude, right? He said when he came to his normal mind, he said dude was just laying there unconscious. And he said he went in his phone. He said he went in his pockets, took his phone, and took his money out of his pocket and his wallet. He said he don't know why he did that, but he did. He said 2 days ago by, and he walking down the street, and 2 Detroit finest pulls up on him, jump off the car, put him in handcuffs, and put him in the back of the patrol car. Now, this journey led him to prison. Now, it was just going to be a simple assault for him beating them up or whatever, or maybe even battery. But because he went in his pockets and stole the phone, the money, and the wallet, well, it came to an aggravated robbery because dude said that Peaches had a knife also. Now, I don't know if he had a knife or not. I wasn't there, right? I wasn't there, so I can't tell y'all if he had a knife or not. But this is what got Inmate Peaches sent to prison. So, y'all stay tuned. I will have part 2 pinned at the top of the comment section. All right. So, with that, y'all, get in contact with me if y'all need me to promote your business, your social media, or your products. If you got a channel or a song or skits or whatever it is, call me or give me a text so I can promote you. And with that, y'all, this is the Donta Show Network. And with that, all right, y'all, I need for y'all to check out my homegirl Erica 2 YouTube channels, man. One of the channels called Erica, and the other one's called Get Lifted 30th and New 20. Y'all make sure y'all go check out her channel. Both channels will be pinned at the top of the comment section. Y'all go show her some love. Again, y'all, if y'all need promotion, get in contact. With that, y'all, I'm out.